a lot of people always labelled me that I had no passion on the touchline. Well, I had plenty of passion. Believe me, what I didn't have, I didn't have much emotion because I was watching the game and everything else. But passion, oh yeah, I had plenty of that.
That came up in Michael Chopper's podcast, didn't it? I think.
Yeah, I think around derbies and things, there was a few like things when playing Swansea, you like play it down maybe a little bit. But yeah, there's different ways to approach derbies, isn't there? So
when you say played it down, it all depends how you thought I was playing it down.
Stayed calm.
Yeah,
but it was always about, lots of players go out and play the occasion.
Yeah,
I want them to play the game, and I'd played in big derbies. Everton, Liverpool, you can't get a bigger derby. So I knew sometimes you went out, and I can't remember the games.
Yeah,
because you were so wound up, you didn't want to give a bad pass or whatever. Southampton, being at Southampton, you go to Pompey, Portsmouth.
Yeah, it's a big derby, that one.
And all of a sudden you don't remember them, and you're thinking, why didn't I remember the game? It's because you're so wound up. The fans can be wound up, but the players, you've got to keep calm and play it, because how many sending offs do you get? Or exactly. Everyone thinks, oh, that's great, you're going to fight. No, it's not, because it's about playing the game, not the occasion. And I never played them down, or I didn't intend to play them down. If you ask the players were still up for the game.
Yeah.
It was just that, fans want you to be, show your passion. What was going to do? Run up and down the line and scream when someone gives a bad pass. 30,000 people have seen the bad pass. Why did? Oh, do I need to now show you that I've seen it? And I was playing the game in my head.
Yeah, and
that's why I was. My wife always says to me, "You don't show any emotion." I don't. It's just because it's not that I don't mean to. It's just the way I am. And I don't see why. How many managers you see?
You don't need to scream.
The game's 0-0 and they're up and they're shouting and everything. They get a goal scored against them. They go and sit down. I would have thought it was the other way around. So
it's man management.
People want you to be something, and I never really wanted to. I could have ran up and down. I used to love playing against Neil Warnock.
Yeah,
because he was a nutcase. And you could see him ranting and raving. I'm thinking, what are you doing? And I got on really well with Neil, and everything else. But would I hesitate to knock him out? Yeah, I'd knock him out. No. I used to have a ding dong with him in the tunnels when he was manager of Sheffield United and all that, and Huddersfield. But I just found him to be a nutcase. You'll get some of my expressions. Look at the fella in the opposite dugout, thinking, what the hell are you doing? They're ranting and raving, and
Yeah.
Like,
different styles, isn't it? Different styles.
Yeah, there's no right way and there's no wrong way. It's what
does it depend? Do you think it depends on like the collection of players you got? I guess you're just being yourself at the end of the day. But sometimes maybe I can imagine if you've got a collection of players that maybe need a bit of a enthusiastic kind of outwardly,
But listen, don't get me wrong. You ask players, I'd start a fight in the dressing room.
Yeah.
Just to get them riled. I remember starting, big Welsh player. I remember starting a fight with Blakey. When I was at Wolves. I said to him, why do you want to fight me? Why don't you fight them out there? And he chucked his boots and he threw his kit off at me and everything else. And I said to him, why are you fighting me? It's like, it's the opposition, you got to fight. Yeah. And then he starts putting his gear back. What are you doing? Getting his car? No, I'm bringing you off. But I had, like the likes of Jolien Lescott and Paul Butler standing behind me just in case, Blakey wants to have a go. But and I remember Blakey saying to me once, so we had this massive big argument. I was calling him lazy this and lazy that, which he had a tendency to do. And that was on a Saturday. Or it was on a Tuesday night, whatever it was. And then came the next game, and he comes to see me. He says, I'm playing. Yeah. We've had a big argument, big fight. Yeah, well, that was then. This is now. Are you my best centre forward? Yeah. Well, why am I going to play you? So play.
Yeah.
And then he'd go out. You get a bit more out of him because, he's thinking I'm not going to pick him, but he was my best centre forward at the time, so why wasn't I going to do that? That was then. I was arguing about that situation. Yeah. I remember telling Jay Bothroyd once, called them all the lazy things under the sun. Good job, you're not a midfield player because you don't run around. Don't. He says, you play me in midfield. So I played him at Burnley. He was the best player I'd ever seen. So, and then the next game, see, you can run.
Yeah.
So it's just how you manage.